Well, a very good evening and thanks for clicking on to the Saturday edition of Vogan's European Outlook. We continue to look at the March temperature anomaly across Europe. Colder than normal across really from Eastern Europe into the western fringes of Asia here, across Scandinavia. Warmer than normal in the central portion of the continent. And for the UK, generally speaking, it's average, a little bit below average across the southern fringes of the UK. We've got the Outer Hebrides and the western portion, the western tip really, of Atlantic Ireland that is slightly above normal temperature-wise. Now the CFSv2 really up until recently has been just every run warm and across the entire continent, which we all knew that was not going to be the case. And in fact, reality was overtaking that theory and that solution of the CFSv2 and basically making a bit of a hash of it completely. But it's going to be interesting as we go into the upcoming work week, because we're going to transition from a low pressure dominated pattern back to a high pressure dominated pattern. It's going to be a stumbly process, but as we press through the next several days, high pressure is going to kind of topple its way in from the Atlantic with a series of fronts coming in, so it's not going to be exactly a smooth transition into more settled weather. But what's going to happen is it's going to be quite interesting, the position of that area of high pressure as it starts to settle across the northern half of the UK. And that is the key to this, is the fact that it's the northern half of the UK. So this is the CFSv2. At the moment, we've got the core of the ridge, and this is pretty much accurate. We've got the core of high pressure centred just to the west of Scotland here. We're pulling our air in from the northwest, so it's a fairly chilly affair at this moment in time. Big trough, of course, over Eastern Europe. But as we go into week 2 of the CFSv2, so this is the period between the 20th and the 27th of the month, and we've got high pressure centred over the northern UK, over northern Europe, and of course that trough this currently upcoming few days over Eastern Europe starts to extend its arm all the way across Central Europe and into Iberia here, with that area of high pressure anchored to the north. So across southern portions of the UK, we're going to start to tap into colder easterly winds here. Now remember, if we look back, the current month has slightly below normal across the southern half of the UK. So let's watch and see if this blue can extend a little bit further north with this type of upper air pattern developing here. 2 meter temperature anomaly is going to be interesting as well, because it looks as if with an orientation of high pressure over the northern half of the British Isles into Scandinavia, the model may have something on this with regards to warmer than normal temperatures. But again, it's hard to say, because high pressure, clear skies, and then of course you get colder than normal nights underneath high pressure. So that is going to remain to be seen here. But certainly across southern Britain, across much of Europe, I can see this definitely materializing a below normal temperature profile for the latter half of March, and that would wind up the month below normal overall, and it would actually eradicate perhaps the warmer than normal that we've got over Central Europe at this moment in time. So the modelling is now starting to kind of to meet reality, if you will. It's starting to see colder air in the pattern, and this is exactly what I'm talking about. The CFSv2 is simply too late in the game, because of course remember, just several runs ago it had literally a paint bomb drop right over Europe. So really the modelling has been very poor at guidance, and of course the residual cold that came in the wake of the sudden stratospheric warming is still playing a hand in the month of March, despite the fact that, you know, the sudden stratospheric warming is long gone, but its residual after effects continue to live on through this spring, and it could be that we have a real nagging hard time getting out of a kind of chilly theme and into full-fledged warmth of spring. So just time will tell whether we can get that or not. Sea surface temperature anomalies, in fact, at the moment are running below normal across the UK, and that is potentially having an effect on the temperature here. Looking finally at the La Nina effect here across the world, we've got arguably colder than normal temperatures, more than blues, more than red, should I say, across our Earth's sea surface from a year ago. So this is a comparison in sea surface temperature anomaly in the last 12 months, and you could definitely argue that we've had more cooling than warming across the Earth's surface here, the ocean surface. So therefore, we are starting to see the air temperature respond with the cooling of the oceans here, releasing less water vapor, and indeed that is having an impact on pulling down the global temperature. Now, for the month of February 2021, we did see the overall temperature average close to normal globally here, so that is a definite response to the La Nina that is ongoing at the moment here, and perhaps also down to other factors such as the solar minimum that was seen peak, of course, just last year. So lots of interesting things to come. I will try and look more at the La Nina, the potential response from the solar minimum at the moment, and other things as we go more and deeper into the spring. That's it for today. Hope you have a great day, and back in the next couple of days with more. Bye for now.